Okay. Thanks for joining the session. There are a few waiting in the teams, so let them also like connect. And we have been a bit delayed, but potential late item. Let's see how we can rush up. And then daylight saving Narayan, but we are expecting around 50 members to join. It's this session is especially for high school, upper secondary school, and parents. So this is our target. And what we have done is the first session, in the education session 1, we have covered all the schools, primary schools, middle schools, and we explained the process and how to select the subjects and everything we covered. But here we are going to focus more on how the university admission process and what are the market trends. This is what we are going to cover. And somebody need to moderate, need to admit. Gauss, நீங்க டீம்ஸ்ல யாராவது
அட்மிட் பண்றது நான் பண்றேன். நான்
பண்றியா?
அட்மிட் பண்றது பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Okay, that's fine. Again, this is the same disclaimer as like what we had last time. We are not the kind of educational consultants. We are not the experts, but we have collected feedback from multiple sources, like from parents and from websites, and we are presenting as awareness. So this is not the kind of, we should not follow this as an instruction. So what we have done in every slide, we have used some hyperlinks. We are referred to Norwegian official websites, so that is the latest. So even after a few years, if you look at the slide, then you have the latest information. You always need to click in and see the latest information. And also, like we always believe, the students have the rights to choose what they want. But here it's purely to give our perceptions, to collective opinions from everyone, and what we see from the internet and what we see from the sources. That's what we are going to present. But we leave the rights to the other rights, and we are just here to just help them out to understand, to give the different perspectives. This is the way we are. And we have 8 topics. The first one we will not touch much upon, like useful websites and references. We used almost like 15 or 20 different websites, and we have put all the links in the front page. This is not fully updated because we are going to update later on. But this slide, what we are planning to do is we will run the presentation today, and after that we collect some of the feedback. We will upgrade the presentation, so we will send it to everyone by end of next week. Something that's our plan. And the second one is the calculation points for university. So meaning is how we are going to calculate the kind of competition points for the Norwegian universities. So that's the main explanation. This we had covered in session 1, but still we want to touch upon. There are some updates from those session 1, so I'm going to run through this. The third one is guideline to choose a study. So this is a more tricky one, or it's a more kind of subjective one. So how to choose? Do we need to choose engineering or medicine or teaching or research, whatever it is? So we try to put everything in a full perspective for the students to pick it up. So a lot of things we are going to in the market, like in the Norwegian government, they have the standard guideline. They have given some instructions. What is the process to choose? What do you need to consider? There are some 10 different elements that we go through in the 3. And fourth one is university courses overview in Norway. So this is, we made a lot of statistics from the government data. And then we will present what are the different universities, locations, and overviews, and cutoff scores, and everything we'll present. And fifth one is university and courses outside Norway. Veeramani will present this, Veeramani and Ramesh. So like there are opportunities since we are in EU. So there are a lot of opportunities. So what are the opportunities outside Norway? Say, for example, if you are more inspiring to do some aeronautical engineering, or if you want to medicine, or some of the courses which may be really difficult to get it in Norway. So those kind of cases, how we can easily get through from outside Norway. So this is what will be section 5. And then 6th one, Sharanya, or maybe the team will go through loan education loan and scholarships. They will go through. The next one is help network. That I have already included into market trend in that some sections. I'll go through. And the last one is university feedback. So we got a lot of feedback from the students, but I don't think we'll get time to go through this. So what we'll do is, this has been, everything is recorded in this presentation file. So we will share it to you so you can go through. So what we have done is students we are able from BI, from different universities, they are given their own feedback. So how the universities, what are the facilities, infrastructure, how it looks like, the pros and cons. So everything is listed in the feedback. This will be really valuable. And what we expect is more than parents, we want the high school students to connect with the university students to discuss about, to get to know more. That's what we wanted to establish. I don't think I need to spend any time on this one. This is not fully populated. I put only the 8 links now, but there'll be some 7 or 8 links will be added later on to this presentation file. Competition points for university. So here you have, in each slide you have the link, and later on you get the PDF file, you link, and you get to know. What we recommend is whenever you see this presentation, this is abstract from this website. So you need to just go and click and explore yourself to get to know more. So we put the important points, and also we put our perspectives here in each slide. So we recommend you to read through, but at least 10, 15 websites where to visit and see this information. And this has been presented last time, but just I wanted to give a context here, since we are going to talk more about the score. In Norway, I think for universities, there are 2 categories primarily. One is the first-time diploma. The second one is ordinary quota. The first-time diploma is for the students who are applying for the first time and who are less than age 21. Then this falls under this category. And the next one is ordinary quota, is for the people who has taken some break, who study something, and who get aged and a lot of stuff. That's from the ordinary quota. So now what we are focusing more in this session is about the first-time diploma. The first-time diploma is as soon as we are done with the studies in the high school, when they are applying for the university, this is the first-time quota. So we are talking more about this. And then there are 5 boxes where we get the score, the grade points, the character points, what we say. This comes out of the university from the high school. So what they do for 3 years, VG 1, 2, 3, they finally get the score for 60. They get the score equivalent to 60. It can be 50 out of 60 or whatever score based on a performance that comes out. And in this, there's a difference between IB and the Norwegian system. But in general, even though we study in IB, it's going to be for 45 is the ultimate result for at the end of the year, at the end of the 3rd year. But this 45 is going to be converted to 60. 60 is the basic kind of common point, which is going to be used for university admission. So this is based on the years of 3 years of study or 2 years of study in IB. And then it comes out, there are some bonus points, and for sciences and for languages, there are going to be mathematics, standard level, complex level, or advanced level, and the same thing with physics. All the kind of science subjects. Okay, we can choose the higher level. We have to choose the higher level, and then whenever we choose, we get some additional bonus points. Same thing with there are some languages has some advantages. So putting them together, we can get 4 points out of it. This 4 is granted for this one. There is no need to have any exam or something. The moment we choose that kind of higher level on those subjects, automatically the score will come out. Say, for example, if it's a physics, if max R2, it's going to be a 1, and in IB, it's going to be a kind of it's a high level advanced max, it's going to be 1.5. So there is some kind of marks. So that we see in the next slides. But based on the selection of the high level sciences as well as foreign language, we will get maximum 4 bonus points. These 60 plus 4, then this is what it's going to count. So the 60 is the basic character points, and then we have 4 additional bonus points. Then there are a few more things which may not be relevant for many of us. Say, for example, this one, bonus point for higher education in folk school or compulsory military services. Many Norwegian students, or maybe the practice in Norway is after they complete the high school, they take 1 year break, or they go and do something, they do some certification, so they take breaks. So those breaks, it gives them 2 points, when they do the extra courses. And also there are some cases, even the students who are studying in the high school, if they are really smart or good on the subjects, they can go to university, they can take one of the subject, they can take 120 credits or 140 credits. So then that point also counts. They can bring some points to the score. So they can build some points here, and then here it's a bonus point for underrepresented genders. The meaning is there are some areas, say nursing, then the male candidates are less, then probably we get the score. But everything is listed on the eligibility criteria. Whenever you go and click the course, it will show is it having that point for that particular course. It will be specified in somewhere now up top. There's a website where we can see. So this is very seldom, but still it's there. And the next one is bonus point for age. This is more for some guys in Norway. They take break 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. The moment they go about 20, about 22, I think. Then every year they can build on 2 points. Then just by age, then till they can get maximum 8 points. So these eight, this underrepresented sex and this bonus points due to high school, this extra course and everything, these all, if you apply, then it goes to ordinary quota. That will not come for first time diploma. So that's a clarification. So if you're going to apply for the first time, then it's purely the 60 plus 4, 64. Then in the ordinary quota, then you can count these things in addition. So this is going to be that. And the languages, there's foreign languages. There are some recognized languages where we can take a bonus point. And here you say Tamil, Arabic, Spanish, Chinese, French, German, Russian, Somali, Urdu. So these are the foreign languages. We can get the score. Now, there is a big change in the process. These changes are announced last year in 2026. They are changing the rule. But this is going to apply in 2028. So far, as I said, first time diploma and the ordinary quota right now in all the university seats have been split 50-50%. So equal, like they reserve 50% of seats for the first time diploma. But now I think this discussion was going for the last 3-4 years. Now they challenge all these bonus points. This is not adding value to the system. Now, based on the conclusion, what they made in 2026, they are going to remove most of the bonus points. This is going to apply from 2028. How they plan to remove is, say, for example, you can see the text here. Points for age, higher education, vocational school, and folk school, everything is removed. The points for foreign languages also removed. Center points are also removed. So almost everything is removed. So what is the change is in the science subjects. Right now we get, say, for example, if you take higher level for physics or something, we get 1 additional point, but instead it's going to be halved. It's going to be 0.5. But I'm not sure what is the max limit they are going to set. It's not clearly described. Maybe that we'll get to know more in the coming year. But this is going to be in 2028. So there are students, they study Tamil or some languages, they get some bonus points, but now that is going to be stopped from 2028. So that is the process now. And when they are making this change, we also make some additional reservation for the first time applicants. Meaning is from 50, they're trying to increase to 65. And there is a very interesting article, so you can read through. Maybe they try to say these bonus points are creating sometimes. If you go back here, this 60, then plus someone get 8 plus 2 plus 8 plus 2 plus 4. It creates 14 additional points for someone. And they fit with the young students. This is not giving a good value in the system. So that's what they say. They wanted to stop. So this has been under debate for a long time, but now it's concluded. And there are many reasons, justifications why it was there in place first and why this is being removed. It's been explained in this website. You can see it later. So you can, the one who's studying maybe starting the VG1, when they come out, there is no bonus points. There is only for science we have. So I think we need to understand this. Yeah. And then again, we talked about the basic grade points of 60 and how this is being calculated in the Norwegian school. We try to quickly explain. From VG1 to VG3, I think the students will study from 15 to 17, sometimes 16 subjects they study. And some of the subjects, most of the subjects will have internal assessment. It's assessed by the teacher of written, oral, and local assessment. They have regular continuous assessment feedback. That's what it's happening. Only 2 or 3 will go for external exams. It can be written or oral. And those exams are going to be evaluated totally by outside the school. And then each subject will have 6 point. It will be counted for 6. The students can get from 1 to 6. 6 is max, and 1 is a fail kind of thing. And here we put some example, but here what we try to say is how the 6 point is going to be calculated is based on the teacher's assessment, the professional teacher assessment. It was supposed to be a more fair assessment. They assess not only the exam score, they assess the overall progress and the competency. So at the end of the semester, for that subject, how much competence we have matured and how much we exhibit. So that's what the teachers are going to reflect upon and I agree. It's not purely based on any score. It's based on everything else, the progress on the 6 months, So that's what we have put. And even then, if you feel the teacher is not fair, if some assessment is not good, I think we have the opportunity to challenge in the system. I don't know how far it works in the system, but I still there is opportunity. We can challenge. So right to appeal. So that's there. And also what I understand is there is a possibility to do some improvements within the school. Say, for example, one semester we got some grade, say 4 or 5, and then we have a possibility to contact with the teacher to do some extra work to improve the grades. But we couldn't see the links and how this is working on. But what we recommend is now students are running a separate forum and they give more information, how the details, how it practically works. They will give more information on this. So this is what it is. And then finally, if students are not totally happy, if they want to make it totally retake the exam, if they want to, it's more like in India, we call it improvement exams in olden days. I don't know what is there in the system now, but if you want to take improvements, then we can retake the entire course as a private student. So it can be more private. It's not going to be within the school year. Then on those circumstances, then we need to go under the ordinary quota. So in that circumstances, but if you are able to complete the improvement, if you are able to do the challenges, if you upgrade the score within the school year, then it's going to be a normal first-time applicant quota. But in case if you do outside the school, if you want to challenge, if you want to improve or do something outside the school system, then it's going to be an ordinary quota. So that's the difference. Yeah. And what we understand from the students is out of all these subjects, which subject they are going to take the kind of national exam is purely lottery system. It's not a school. It's education system will decide which kind of course. It's purely based on lottery. So sometimes if you are lucky, then you get your favorite topic. If you're unlucky, then we get some challenging topics. So this one. When we try to compare the Norwegian system and the IB, I would say this has some advantage in one aspect. Here we know the score, we can predict the score to a larger extent. The meaning is from starting VG1 to VG2, you're already getting marks, you're getting scores, you're accumulating the points, coming close to 70-80%. You got to know the score in the final semester, So this is a big advantage of the Norwegian system. Before you apply, you know what you're going to get, where you can fit. So that we can understand. Then I move to the next this is one example what we presented last time. I don't think we need to go through. It shows typical subjects. This is a mark sheet from one of my graduate engineer. It's his mark sheet. He has shown, and I just filled in to show how this looks like, Say, for example, some of the subject you do only for 70 hours here and the 70 hours in the next semester, then you don't get the score in the first, then you get the second. So a lot of details there. But those things students can explain much better later on. But ultimately, we get to the score of 60 and plus 464. The next one, this is the one example as well as explanation for IB. The IB, the character points, the grade points are equal to 45. We have 6 subjects, and then each has a 7 grade score of 7. So it counts 42, and there is 3 for theory of knowledge or something. So that's towards the end. So this 45, and they also have the same kind of bonus points for it's applicable. And here list of subjects and the bonus points, it's been listed at the table. So you can click these links and you can get to know more. Yeah. So now they get 45, and Norwegian system, they get 60. Now there is a conversion table. It's been there for a long time. The next slide, we talk about the IB to Norwegian conversion. So this has been a talking point for the last 4 or 5 years. In 2022, there was a recommendation from the education system to change the conversion point. The meaning is that we used to have some conversion point, what we have seen here. This is from 2022, but they recommended a new table. The first table, always we have the benefits. Say, for example, if you scored 70% in IB, that is equal to 76, or that's going to be some 3 to 6% of advantage has been given all the time. This is based on the complexity of IB school, and the scoring is a bit difficult. A lot of challenges have been considered, so that's why we have this advantage. But later on in 2022, there was some research or some kind of assessment done by some group of set of team, and they recommended to remove that advantage. So it was more try to be more or less like a kind of flat. It was proposed in 2022, and they wanted to implement from 2024, but it was challenged, opposed by schools and parents. It was moved to 2025. Again, it's moved, but now it's been put on hold for a while. So this is not going to happen. So the new IB conversion system is not active yet. The old conversion table is still going to be used for 2025-26. On the revised system, now what has been agreed is now the IB has a kind of organization in Norway. So now they'll also be part of the assessment now. So the now Education Ministry and this IB school, everyone need to sit together and they will agree on. I don't think it'll happen for next couple of years. So this will not change. The final decisions are expected after consultation in 2026, which is supposed to be this year. Yeah, this will go further. So what we always think is whenever we talk about IB school, we always think it's a more of private school, but it's not the case. Out of 26 IB schools here in Norway who has a diploma program, 21 are state-run schools, only 5 are private. And I think Asker is the latest one. They also have the diploma. So the one who is till 10th grade, so we can leave the middle school. But what we are focusing now in the entire session is about the one on the high school, which is DP1, DP2 we called. In Norwegian system, it's a VG1, VG2, VG3. So we are focusing only on this. The schools who has a diploma program is only 26 in Norway. And Nesbru and Lillestrøm, these two schools have been really challenged due to the economic conditions. They were trying to pull out from this IB program. But again, now that has been extended till 2028, and there is a transition plan is in place. Akarius, the commune, is exploring the possibilities to have the private venture to run this like before. So this is going around. This was just to compare, but we no need to worry about the new table now. This Samordna Optak, the website, what you see, this is the website meant for university application, information about university and everything. So we can just go through a bit later on. All these contents are taken from there, So it has just we thought looking at the timeline when the students need to apply for university. So it starts with April 15 is the cutoff to apply, as well as to upload the documents relevant to this. So if they have any certificates relevant to the study, they have to apply. So it can be a Norwegian recommend document, it can be a course, but normally schools have a kind of arrangement. It gets communicated automatically in the system, but still the deadline is 15th. So we no need to wait till 15th. I think we should apply some weeks before, at least 1 or 2 weeks before. So that's the practice. And then July 1st is the reprioritization deadline. The meaning is when we apply, we can apply for 10 options. Option 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the priority. We can set 10 options. But we have a possibility to choose to shuffle the options on July 1st. So though we apply in April 15th, still you can change the priorities. It is possible to do. And the reason why, maybe in the next slide, I will cover why reprioritization is more important is once you know more about your potential score, what we are predicting, I think we need to align that with the expected course. So we will talk about this. This is a very critical part. We need to really choose, when we choose, one of the criteria is that we need to understand how much we are going to get, and we need to look at the universities, what can be an option for us. So we need to match with that, So that's a bracket step. And July 1st, it's the same. So as soon as we reprioritize, still again the last deadline to upload the documents relevant to this one. And then what happens here, once we set the reprioritization, it's done, it's closed. But unfortunately, IB results will be out only by July 6th. But Norwegian students will get to know the results. That is again one aspect of challenge from IB. So IB is a score. One difference between IB and Norwegian system is in IB, only 20 to 30% of marks we are securing through internal examinations or internal assessments. The remaining 70 to 80% is coming through just like a board exam. So they have to go through all the exams at the end. So if they are sick, if they are not doing well on the day, it can really challenge the score. So that's one drawback. So but we are used with the system in India. So in India, we have the board exams. We go on, write all the exams at the end. But here, back to back, they have exams morning, evening, and morning, afternoon. It's a lot of stress they used to take in the IB. So these exams happen in 3 weeks' time. I don't know if it's going to be 15, 16 exams around. I think, yeah. So here but even then, based on when they start the DP1, by end of DP1, based on the score, the school will normally give the predicted score. But normally what we understand from the students is when we get the final score, it's slightly above the predicted score. That's what we hear from the students. But it's purely based on if they're sick on that week, if something happens, this can really impact them. So what we recommend the IBC students, they have to be really safe and good in the last few weeks to make sure they're really positive and good for their exams in the last weeks. But uncertainty is a bit high. So they get some predicted score, but it can go plus minus, but in the system, still within that period, they have to choose. They have to choose based on their best, They have to reprioritize and close this. And the results comes out in July 6. These results will go directly to, even though we uploaded reprioritization and everything, but the scores and the documents will be updated automatically in the system because there is a digital thread which is connecting from the IB school system to Norwegian, this somewhat now uptalk, the system they talk, that data is transferred. So we don't need to upload anything. As soon as we get the score is populated in the system. And then July 19th, what they do is in this period, in this 2 weeks time, I think the university, they, based on the first applicants, they choose, they fill in the seats, they prioritize, and then say if there is 50 seats available, if the capacity of one of the course is 50, and if only 40 has applied, then remaining 10 will be shown as available number of seats. So that's what they do based on who has applied for the different courses. By July 19th, again, they will open up the system. They'll show this is what available in the system. If you want to apply, you can apply. Though you reprioritize, but still there is a possibility. You can look what is available in the system, so you can do. There is one more opportunity. Then once we do, then July 20 is once you get the available study places within 1 day, we have to choose, okay, I want to change, I want to apply for this. There's a possibility to apply for this. So in this period, normally we go on vacation, but this is we have to be available. We have to be aware. There's a possibility to look what is available. We can reshuffle, we can apply for something. So we have to be careful on this period. So normally this is the time we'll be inactive, but we have to, I don't know how this notification comes. It may be coming if the email ID of student has been registered, they will get the information, they can go and see. So a lot of things we have to be careful on those 3rd week of July to make sure if there is anything to change, we need to do that. And then once this is done, settle down 20, I think you will get the offer on the same as soon as we apply. If there is a position apply, and July 20 itself, you will be getting the offer. All the students will get the offer. So maybe based on the application, based on the number of seats and the cutoff score, if they have the possibility, they get the offer. And we have a few days time. I think we have 1 week time, 20, not one, even 4 days time to respond if you're going to take the offer or if you're going to, which offer you're going to take. So we have to do that in the 4 days time. And the supplemental intake and waiting lists. Maybe the next slide I can explain a bit more around this. The supplementary is, say, for example, in the first time applicant, when they get the first time offer when they receive, then it's there. But even if somebody is moving out from one to other course, then there is a gap, then someone else apply, then that's a supplementary. So they backfill that course. So that's going to happen. So till the waiting list will be maintained, I think around August 5, I think refill recording starts. If there is any gap in some of the courses, I think they will start to fill from August 5. But the important thing what we need to do is this July 24, we have to accept the offer. And this reprioritization, what we are trying to say is whenever we apply the option 1 to 10. So if we get the offer on the place on the third option, whatever we offered. So if that is if we got the seat, if it's offered, then all the remaining ones, this like 4th to 10th in our application will be cancelled by itself. So it will not maintain a waiting list. Say for example, the first one, the cutoff score for the option 1, what we had chosen is say 50. And option 2, if it's 48, if that is the cutoff score, but we got some 47. And then as soon as based on our score, they will give the third one as an offer, and the remaining, the top 2 will be in a waiting list. But then the bottom 7 will be removed from our list at all. So that'll be gone out. So that's why we have to be more careful. So to choose what is the first one we are going to choose. So most likely based on predicted score, we have to match with the previous year score to see, okay, will it fit? And yeah, a lot of calculations we need to do and apply for the first one. And later on, there are some courses. I have taken some statistics from the websites, which shows how the waiting list in Norway works and how much point it can potentially reduce and what other courses. I will show some statistics. In especially like NTNU, medicine, and few other courses, the waiting list is enormous and it doesn't reduce too much, So we had to be good on guessing what could be the score and what we are getting. So we had to match with that. So there are chances. Say for example, here I try to put representation of the how IB results are received and how the things have been transferred. Just I put as an explanation. Later on, you can read this. I'll rush through. Careerwidling.no. So that's a website. So this is official website. They try to give a guidance how for the students how to choose. There are multiple places. There are 2 places I've seen in the Norwegian education system. They are given some recommendation or tips how to choose. I just present for the students as it is. The first one is decide what is important for you, your strength, interest, if you are interested in coding, if you're interested in a physical thing. So that's the first thing you choose. And the second one is job opportunities, salaries, entrepreneurship, and what are the things which comes out of the course. Just you need to have understanding. Every student, at least they have to spend like 20, 30 hours to understand, okay, what they want to be and what are the different things and look at the different perspectives, So this will give us more confidence when you are selecting a course. And the next one is the university campus infrastructure, students' life opportunities. So this can be one of the steps which can decide what is important for you. For some students, more than the course, having the good student environment and life, it can be more important. So then they need to pick what's important for them. And this is the interesting part. Here in Norway, I think around 600 job descriptions, and also like they have interviewed every person for 2 minutes or 3 minutes kind of short video to explain about each profession. So what is that, how the role takes and what they feel about the role. So everything is explained, everything is in the website. And the next one is there is a one comprehensive website to compare the salaries, what you will be, and a lot of things are connected. So these 3 we will just go through the website directly to see. And what they recommend is to get to know about the profession. Say if you study this course, what are the different type of professions, what are the different type of roles you can play, and what is that role, how that role, what it demands, and how this role in reality in Norway. So that is explained in this YouTube videos. And then more than that, salary, what do you expect? That is also explained. They take a statistical average on that particular role in Norway. So this is presented. I think Norway is one of the most transparent country where you see a lot of statistics, especially on salaries. It's interesting to see. Let me quickly open and show. You go on filter anything, say electronics, and then okay. Okay, then I will just go through the presentation, then I'll open the website and show that will be more easy. Yes, I need to switch back and forth. And then narrowing is they try to say, okay, you pick the 10, we have to choose 10 at least. Use the study overview point tables. What they refer is when you are picking that 10 courses, just you can be ambitious. Say, for example, if you're getting, say, 40, 45 score, maybe some historically, if the data is saying if that particular course demands 50, there is no point to apply. Just come to the point. So when you apply this 10, you try to compare. Maybe some of things can be ambitious, but some of the course fall back of the option 1 or 2. You need to have practical course. Say if you choose electronics, or if you choose IT, if you choose teaching water public, you choose, there is a possibility to have some course definitely of your interest, even if not in this university, it can be in another university or other area. So that's what we need to plan. First, you decide which kind of area you are going to study. Is it engineering? Is it law? Whatever it is, and then the kind of university, and then based on this, you have the options. So we have done some pivot tables to show how we can find it out. There are 1,395 courses on this university program. But there is also a folk school, there is a vocational subjects too, but I'm not focusing on the vocational. But there was some discussion why we are focusing more on engineering and this allied subjects. But I would say in the vocational school, there are some 800 courses. There is no point requirements. There is, you apply, you get it. So the focus is more towards these kind of allied subjects. That's why we are discussing more about these points. There is no point requirement. I can show later on that as well. Consider predictor score based on the prioritized that list, and yeah, I think this website we need to use. And what they say is the students, they can use some kind of methods to say if there are pros and cons. You can list by using, in Office we use these kind of tools, list everything what's important for you and put some factors and try to say pros and cons and choose in case if you are mixed with if you are challenged to choose what is that, then probably list down what's the comparison between these two courses from your perspective, and then do an important thing. What they say is talk to others to understand the trend, to understand the others. When you decide, that's an important thing. Say, for example, if you look at the statistics, I was looking at the statistics for a while. Say mechanical engineering, the average salary could be really high and a lot of things, but in the market, maybe that is there for 30 years, 40 years, but right now the current trend could be slightly different. This SSP use the database. When you take it from the database, if you take the statistics, it shows something based on historical data for the last 30, 40 years, but the current trend, it's really difficult to get it. That's why we send some survey to parents. It's not much useful, but I can present what has been received. And one thing is, at the end, what do we choose? What do the students choose? Take it easy. Many times, even in our past days, when we chose for some reason, not a very strong reason, but something we have chosen. But whatever we choose, we will find the career we build on. Everything is possible. So no regrets, whatever we choose. But before we do, we make all the thinking process, discuss with people, and find the best thing. Once you're chosen, just leave it. So this is the best we need to understand. You're not committed to career for the rest of your life. It's common to choose education multiple times. It's clearly stated in the website. In Norway, especially, even if you're working in finance, I have seen the people who worked on the finance also jumped into engineering to finance. These kind of things are possible in Norway. So this is not a challenge. This website, again, maybe after I run through the slides, if time permits, I'll go through. It's really interesting slide where you can pick the different kind of roles and try to compare all the aspects, the eligibilities and the kind of expected salary. So you can see I picked as a lawyer, electrical engineer, IT architect, surgeon, and mechanical engineer as an example. You can see the results here. So if you look at the first one, which is a lawyer, which says the highest paid is 1.27 million kroner. And the same thing with highest paid is for the civil engineers. Civil engineers, what they call is the masters in engineering, they call us as civil engineers. So masters in electronics, they call us civil engineers. So they are 1.2, and then system analyst is 1.09, and then medical specialist is 1.54, the surgeons and everyone. And then again, for mechanical and marine engineering is 1.23. It's again civil. So this is taken from a SSP database. But outside they put median, they put lowest, so it will give an indication what it can be. But this is on a high level. This is they compare maybe on each there could be some thousands of employees they take in this statistics, so it's kind of average. But then there is some more details in the coming stage. If you inside the mechanical, inside the civil, inside the lawyer, there are multiple roles you can pick. So those explicit roles also they'll give us statistics. That is in the details in the coming slides. But this gives a picture of what kind of salary we can expect this. For a selected role, say for example, if I chosen the IT architect or something, it shows how in each role, what is the common kind of education background they come out from. It's PhD or it's some course, what type of course it's been written here. Say to reach this position, say for example, for this lawyer, then how these lawyers have been built, what kind of courses they have to do to reach that is explained. Then most of them has done the masters. So it's explained how the percentage is spread. So we can see in this slide. So this can give you indications. So if you reach that kind of role with that kind of position, so we have to do this kind of studies. It's more common, you can see. No. Entry நல்லா இருந்திருக்கும், but lowest paid to highest paid. Okay. And when you're comparing the profession, we talk about the unemployment and self-employed and a lot of things you can see so much of interesting data. So more than me, everyone can read through the statistics, get the perception. I think the what professions we have chosen, I think the unemployment is pretty less. So this is, but if you choose some other profession like non-allied kind of profession, you will see the percentage high unemployment percentage here and there. And in the self-employed, you can see always, if you choose the lawyer, then you can see the more self-employment 9.5%. And the same thing with the medical specialist, they also they are more kind of entrepreneurs. They are self-employed, we can see. So this gives you some picture, what kind of profession. It's not only looking for a job, but what kind of profession where we can have our own business. And then this is going in the same website. If you click the last one, then it takes us to the more details. But here there are two things. One is all in total, including all the range of profiles from experience to graduates, but it's newly graduated who is coming out from this course and how much they are unemployed. So that's the percentage. So when they come out of the course, say for example, in this 0.58% of graduated from medical university, they are taking time. They are not employed immediately. That's what it says. Only 0.58%. It's very least, I would say. This is insignificant. I think if you compare everything, it's almost the same, 0.5, 0.8, 0.59, 0.58, 0.4. So what I did was, in my company, I used to go and talk with my graduate engineers. I think we had 2023, we had 8 graduate engineers, and last year we had 6 or 7. So I try to discuss and understand how the universities works, whether all are getting the placements or not. USN is a very small university. It's in Kongsberg, Horten, and Porsgrunn. When I discuss with them, say there are 15 engineers who joined the mechanical engineering course. Out of 15, only 8 have passed out. The remaining so many dropouts. Because the reason being, now university you get easily, so there is no point recommends. It's easy. If you apply, you'll get it. But only thing is to go and study especially mathematics and something they study hard, they drop out. So that's the case. So getting university is same. It could be easy. And the syllabus, I was trying to compare with the one student who has studied from NTNU and the one who has done from USN. I think that the syllabus is almost the same. It can be slightly different, but they need to study almost the same. So the toughness really makes some of the students, even though there is no eligibility points or something, but still they cannot sustain, they drop out. So the dropout is almost like more than 40% in average, you know. What it means is the one who has passed out, the 8 students, everyone is placed. Even they study in Horton or Kongsberg, almost everyone is getting placed. So that's a minimum. So in Norway, it's maybe it may take a bit of to get into a bigger company, to get into some desired role, it may take some time. But there is no such unemployment crisis in terms of graduates. You know, they are getting placed in that. If you go one by one link, it will show what kind of universities. So if you click, how do you want to be an IT architect? Then it says what kind of course you can take. If you pick, it goes to shows the different universities and options. Let's keep on going. So we can go to the website later on to see how we can explore on this. And then finally it reaches to the kind of YouTube video to show. Maybe I can quickly show one video to see how it looks. It goes to website. I don't know what is the, it's done. Sick player. It talks about the sick player's helper, right? Okay. I can stop this, but there are 400 plus videos. You are interested in any profile, you go and search, but only thing you have to search in Norwegian and find the video and just try to understand what is that. They picked from different industries. This is the first time in India we don't have this option, but here we have a good option to understand how they look like for the different profile looks like. Then let me go back here. This is from Uddanning. Uddanning is another website. This is for students. Here there are a lot of practical information. Here they put another 10 points for the students to consider. I can quickly go through. Choose something you're interested in. It's the same as like what we had, and take into account of characteristics and skills. Find relevant information. Yes, consider job opportunities. Check salary level. Choose the right place to study. Do you want to study abroad? Complete your education. Consider opportunities for further education. It's your choice. Yeah, it's more or less the same. So even in multiple places, the recommendation is always same. So we put some 4 blocks of what are the steps to do. Just you do that. We recommend the students to consider. And what I did was to consider the salary. I don't think you can see the numbers here. Here in this picture, you see the statistics of this average. There are 2 things possible, like average or median. But I prefer to choose the average because average is more realistic data. You can put median, sometimes it shows some outliers. In this average, you can see the top 10 is mostly due to the trade brokers, and then financial, and then finance managers, securities, and brokers. A lot of things are related to finance, and that's why there's some demand. So you can see many of the finance, they are getting 172,000. It's a monthly average salary in 2025. So this is a statistical time. So maybe it's a fun to see when you go home. Just this presentation you can go through, or you can click the link. You can look at the statistics, how it looks like. But what we have done is during this exercise, we have created one Excel file where we have downloaded data from multiple sources, and we did the pivoting for this exercise. We will share this Excel file to you, share with you maybe after a week or something. So you can also explore yourself. This is for the data for 2025. I think this for 25. And one thing what we are seeing is the one who has the extreme amount of average salary. It's not too many professionals. It's very few. The trade brokers or someone, it's 1.7. Then the next one starts from 1.3. 1.3, 1.2, it goes down. So even for mechanical engineers, it shows 90,000 as a monthly salary. So it goes down. I put all the professions. It goes even till all the levels, even waiters, it's 40,000. So it ranges from 40,000 to 90,000 around. That is what the Norway is, you know. So since we are in Norway, the difference is not huge. So whatever like a low or average level profession, even if I elite, the difference is 2 times, 2.5 times. But this is going to be pretty drastic if you go to US or any other countries. But in Norway, it's kept more or less, it's balanced. But even then, it's really important to see where you want to fit. Yeah, and we often say money is not everything, but it's something you have to consider. We are not looking for charity. This is, I don't know, maybe it's before tax, I think. It's before tax. One point is in Norway, we see the difference between the different professions is not huge in that sense, but the earning is more or less like a kind of same, it's flat. We are going to have a separate session or separate forum for entrepreneurs, for investments, I think. We are going to start from students. The meaning is if you typically talk to any Norwegian, they have hand skill, they build a house, they do a lot of stuff, they invest, they do a lot of things. But we are not fitting into that space. We are off academic, but we wanted to make the possibility. Our students need to think about the money, value of money, what you are going to do with that, and how you are going to grow. The salary is not going to explode. It's not going to be high in Norway. But even with that, they have to think compounding kind of things for many, many years. So this is what we are going to take. We are going to have workshops for the students. So of course, it's not the topic for here, but still we wanted to say. So even the salary, everything can fix whatever profession they start, but still everyone needs to have the possibility to save, to invest, to grow. We will talk about that. It's really a small numbers. What I was trying to show is the number of courses in Norway. If you look, I think in Oslo, then it's Trondheim. I think there are different places. The reason why I put this slide is for the students, the place where they are, if there are more courses, if there are more students, it may be more interesting for them. Say, for example, in Trondheim, where is the number of students every year they go on? The meaning is the city is with 35,000, 40,000 students. It's really amazing. It's a place where you see it's a lot of students. It can be one. At the same time, I was talking to one of my other graduates in another department. She is from NTNU Ålesund. She enjoyed the kind of campus very much. The meaning is that here, if you go, one place is really crowded. It's a lot of life, a lot of different things. Another place, it's smaller kind of setup. It's more advanced equipment. Everything is well equipped, and you have a good life, and the teachers are more connected to you. Maybe if you go to Trondheim, it can be 150 seats, it can be 120 seats. It's about students, If you go to some places, it's 20, 25 students, and the connection is really good. And what I understand is one of the feedback given by the student is there are a few students, couple of students came from a kind of different background. They are more familiar with English, but though the courses are in Norwegian, but the teachers are more flexible. The courses are taken in English. Even the bachelor's, it was not supposed to be in English. It was supposed to be in Norwegian, though all the books are in English, but they take care of students in a way. So this is possible in the small campuses. So it's a pros and cons. Yeah. So here the purpose of showing is to see where the students are more populated. This is giving that picture. The next one is the applications overview. The purpose of this slide, I couldn't see it from here. The first choice and what is the percentage of the students getting the first choice? Meaning is I highlighted some of the courses. Say, for example, this is some economy and administration, and this is some medicine and Trondheim. So the number of students who applied and number of students who got the place at the first time is very limited. The meaning is, though we know the cutoff score, many students are too optimistic to apply for it, but still they didn't get the place. The meaning is the one who got the second one, they have a challenge to fit into some place. Of course, they will get their own seats. But that's why we had to be more careful. So you can see the percentage. Maybe in this table you can see what is the first time applicants and how many they got the seats. It's an interesting statistics to know. So before you apply, it's always good to see how this kind of course has performed or it's been there in the last year. How many people are applying? What is the waiting list? What is the cutoff scores? Generally to understand. When there is a huge amount of waiting list, it's always when you apply for the next year, you always need to make sure that if your predicted score is slightly above the previous year, then it's more beneficial. Okay, this is also consideration for the students when they apply. And the next one, I try to pull out what are the research and industry programs across the different institutes in a way. So one beneficial, like whenever we are studying in a university, if you are connected to some kind of program, say for example, I can say one thing about Revolve in NTNU Trondheim. They make a Formula One car. It won't be going at the high speed, but still they try to make a car. They start with a full system. It goes for 3 years or something. They start from engine development of the kind of GRP, the profile they create, and they try to make it function. So this, they will work as an organization. So there'll be a lead for design, there'll be lead for analysis, there'll be a lead for commercial and buying the things. They get real-time experience. This is really valuable. So this is one of the programs. Yes, the reason how we know, whenever we go for campus interviews, we always, these are the talking points. Students are really impressed more. So what kind of experience they gained in the universities, us like as professionals, they have gained a lot of experience. They know how the system works and how the department will work, what are the interfaces. Those things are really important. So when you consider university, you pick the university where there is always some program. So that's why in the students' feedback also, we have requested students to give feedback what kind of programs you have in your universities. It's always interesting to know. One thing is to pick the university where we have such a programs which is connected to industries. The next one is we should be connected to that program once you join. That's more important. It's always good to know. I think more extracurricular. This is extra thing, but still it's interesting. It will be valuable thing to do. What are the things I captured? You can see the multiple links. You can see the universities. I think we can talk in some other sessions how this works, but this is really interesting. Please consider this during the evaluation. And also, I was trying to consider what are the different type of university funding comes across different universities. So this Erasmus Plus is one which whenever we exchange students, whenever we do some collaboration across Europe, this kind of funding really helps. In 2025, we got 18 billion kroner, I think. It's kroner. I don't know if it's euro or if it's kroner, but at least from 18 million, I think most of the things have gone to University of Oslo. It's Trondheim and Bergen. This is the way it looks like. So this shows how much amount of projects and exchange programs are happening around. And then exchange programs. What we strongly recommend is whenever there's a possibility, after completing the second year, when they move to third year, I think that fifth semester, there is a possibility we can choose some electives and we can go to some of the big universities in the US or different places. Even we may not get that application directly if we apply for the first time, but there is a possibility due to exchange programs, we get the opportunity to go to the bigger universities to see how it looks like, So always, we may not need to study there full time, but at least it's good to go and see the bigger campus with the bigger opportunities, how it looks. So we strongly recommend. I think those things are also going to be covered by the funding, this loan accounts and the other things they fund most of it. It's going to be, but there'll be some extra effort we have to take. So in each, before you apply, say at least for the option 1, 2, 3, we recommend you go to the university website and try to see what are the opportunities they give. Do they have this industrial connection? Do they have this exchange program with what kind of universities? That also can indicate. So even for USM, they have kind of a lot of connection with the universities outside Europe. And that can be a fun for students as well to go to work, study in Australia for 6 months, the US for 6 months. Okay, now we are coming back to the real topic. University courses overview in Norway. This is a website. This someone up top. There are two categories. One is the actual university. The next one is vocational or folkskolen. As I said before, there are 497 courses and there are 10 categories. I think we focus more on here, but of course, you have the possibility to go and click and see all the details, what is available in the system. Out of this 1395 courses, there are 16 categories. So what I did was maybe sometimes some IT engineers can help us next time. So we have to download and integrate some manipulate the data to make a pivot. So we did that part. So out of this 16, I think we will focus more on few of the things, the technology, this medicine, law, and some stuff. Because those are the courses where we have higher demand and where we have the recommend of the point score is really high. So that's why we are focusing on this. Remaining things, history and many things, you will get it. You apply, you get it. But what is the future? I think you see the salary structure and you have the indication what it goes. I think you can understand what is your pick. Yeah, this is the university, and here there are 20 different type of courses. One, what we are seeing, it's very small. I don't know if you are able to see, but I can say this is the bachelor and this is the master. And then there are something like online. There's something like 1 year course. There are so many type of variants in the system. But what you're focusing now is either bachelor or masters. I would say the masters is really highly recommended in Norway. If you look at any company, the salary there's a kind of difference. It's more than 10% difference. In our company for graduates, I think it's 550 or 560 for the bachelors, and then it's 50,000 more for a master's. So in India, we treat everything same, but here it's a difference. Yeah, whenever the students do masters, the salary difference will always go with them. It will follow them. So that's why I'm going to show the list of courses with the highest number of recommend points. I think all the master's courses will have more out of 60. I think that has more demand. So one of the purpose is here we try to do masters. So what we recommend the students is just when you start as a bachelor, we need to motivate them. We need to support them to make sure that they complete the masters. That's always beneficial. Yeah. I couldn't get this picture, but there are two things. If you look at the number of courses, I think bachelor courses, I think technology has more than 100, and then it's medicine. So these two are high. And then if you look at the technology alone, the masters are almost like 47. So there are more students who's completing the bachelors, they tend to complete the masters. So that's I want to show from this picture. And this statistics is slightly interesting. So wherever some of the courses, wherever there is a recommend point at least. So out of 60, do we need to get 30, 40, whatever it is, at least some recommend. If it's there, the meaning is there is a competition. Someone didn't get the seat. So that's the meaning of it. So if everyone got who are applied, it's then zero. Then we picked out who is zero, then you can see as no, there is no recommend role. So this is 0 point, you apply, you get it. And this, yes, it can be a 60 out of, it can be 659 or it can be 40, but at least there is some requirement, So we try to compare. So out of this comparison, what we can see is for finance and administration. So you can see half of the things, at least they have the requirement. The meaning is there are very few things. In finance also, there could be many different kind of studies. I think the allied kind of studies are always filled. So there is a requirement. And the same with legal. Legal is always the other side. Most of them has recommend and medicine. And here you can see the statistics. So the meaning is all the courses, they have some demand. Yeah. Since the reason I put as a purple means pink on this 4 is we are going to focus on this one. Of course, in the Excel, when we are sharing to you, you can filter, you can go through any data, you can find any sort of anything. But for the presentation wise, I picked the 4 next slides based on this 4. This finance, legal, and medicine and technology. Technology is all engineering related things. This is a big picture, which shows I'm moving slightly out, but in case if you couldn't hear from Teams, please let me know. These are the kind of courses, and these are the universities where there is always some requirement. The meaning is there is no zero here. This is the one which has some point of requirements. If you look at the Trondheim NTNU, you see across all the different type of studies, all the different type of 16 studies, you have always a requirement. So it goes from uh, say this is technology, which is 28. There are 28 courses. We always need to have some score to get it. And then same with the medicine, it goes like this. So in overall, out of all the courses, 71 courses, we have to have some cutoff score. We get into entering and so on. The same thing with if you look at the UI. Oslomed is 20, and then you can see the universities here. And this 43 is Bergen. And then you can see from University of Oslo here, it's 47 and different type of things. For engineering is always this peak. So we make kind of matrix to show which course and which university has the peak of requirement. So you can see this. These all information, I don't know how much it helps, but at least when you're selecting, you need to know this is in demand. Then I picked the yes ones and I sorted based on the score for each 4 different groups. There's technology, medicine. It comes to the next slides. This is for technology. The technology you can see, starting with the first 3 is architect or some course, which has additional entrance examination. So that's why the score is above 140 or 150. So that happens as a separate exam. There are some universities, they have the private exams. So though we get 60 plus 4 and they add on the entrance scores to add to this one, that's the way they select. Now there is from 2027, I think there are some rules getting changed. Now the universities, they can openly introduce the entrance exams. It doesn't need to be approved formally by the education ministry. There are some regulations they're trying to change. When they're removing the bonus points and everything, they are liberalizing the universities to want to encourage to say open test, but not everyone is going to do, but there is a possibility. But this university, architecture or something, they have that score. That's why you can see the high numbers. And then next it starts with the industrial economics and technology management. This is one of the hot course. This has been there for the last couple of years. I think one of our friends' son is studying there. This, even after they join the course, they have to study a lot. This is these kind of courses after they complete, they go to really a big company as a kind of to on an executive level. So it's a possibility they'll take directly. But if you look at the score on that course, is 61.5 out of 60. The meaning is, of course, we get a bonus 0.4 out of 64, 61.5. It's very few, and I think 600 students have still applied. They didn't get it. So more than 600 students they are on the waiting list. But there are some courses it goes with the flow. You can see the numbers. So here I pulled up the courses where there is a demand or where there is a recommend points. I just put down in this list just for you. You don't need to go to the details. And this is for medicine. The same thing, I pulled up all the lists wherever there is a kind of recommends. Medicine also, you can see almost all the medicines, like you can see from different universities, there's going to be a 0.1 or 0.2 could be a different, but otherwise it has a demand. So it's not only the pure medicine, but also it has a dentry. It follows, you can see the study name, it's medicine, then it's dentry, it goes even physiotherapy. It has a point recommend. It's really surprising to see. Good. But this all can help you when you're selecting the courses. On this law, it looks like it's a very few courses and very few universities to do this one, and they all have almost the requirements. They are highly paid. If you look at the salary statistics, I think law is also one of the highly paid. But it looks like the waiting list are extremely high on the law. There are more than 2,000 people waiting for some course. Though the cutoff is slightly lesser than the top one, but still a lot of people are trying desperately for this. So this is in the system. And then finance and admin, again, you can see this data. So these presentations. I think more than that, with the help of Excel, just you navigate, you find out, understand how the different courses are in Norway. Now, what we did, this is a separate one. We split the engineering into multiple areas: engineering, electronics, mechanical, how it is. Because in case if some kids are interested to do, say, engineering related to data, then you see multiple options. In case some universities has some recommends, some universities you apply and get it. Then in case if your score is less than slightly some limit, and then you need to find what's the best out of these three universities. That's what we need to try. So here we try to group different based on the areas within the engineering. We try to make this is purely this category is made by us just to find. This is not from the statistics, but we copy the statistics. We try to group to show in each area. It can be a mechanical, it can be electrical, it can be electronics, it can be any area, marine, any area. There is always some place you can study the course. This is a good thing. Okay, how much time I have? Okay, I need to rush and close it. This is a waiting list. I was talking about the waiting list. If you see on the left, you can see the University of Bergen. This long is more than 2,000 people have not got a seat, but they applied for it. So this goes like this. I started out based on the waiting list. It shows how many applicants are eager towards that. And the next time when you're applying, you just try to make sure you're always above that cutoff to some extent. So the predicted score, you just imagine and you compare the score from the previous year. Next year, it's going to high. Yes, the demand is always high on this. So just to recap this. Yeah. Now trend part. Like in this is also taken from. I didn't mention the link, but I'll do that. This shows what is the difference between 2023, 24, 25. I picked the most number of courses where there is a more of deviation or changes in the points, in the recommended points. So the green ones, say for example, if you look at this course, this is a construction engineer in Ålesund. This is increased from 35 to 43 due to some reason. So these deflections, good to know. This gives an indirect indication of the trend. So which is going up, which is going down, you see. Hello? Okay. Hello, can you hear me in the Teams?
கேக்குதுங்க டீம்ஸ்ல ஓகே.
Okay, yeah, we need to go through. But this is, but this trend, it's sometimes unpredictable. Suddenly, why some course, suddenly less applicants, suddenly it's more, suddenly it's going up and down. I was trying to make some kind of understanding, but it's a bit difficult. So I just leave it. And then in this website, in Updaning or in the HKDR, they put some important trend. The 14% of applicants, they receive more offers in the health sciences, meaning is the number of things are increasing for 14%, and the same thing with the teaching. But information technology has been reduced by 22%. It's just a trend. They have given some explanation. This is based on the statistics of how many students have been given an offer last year. Then again, you can see the trend, what kind of courses, how many number of offers have been made last year. You can see always health sector is always high, then economic and administration is next. It goes on like this. On this right table is showing men and women. I think if you look at the health fag, I think it's more women, and if you take technology, it's more of boys. It's yeah. And a lot of statistical data is available, but I just picked two subjects to say this is a maritime, this is a typical engineering. How the trend goes in the last 5 years, you can see trend on engineering is more or less flat. At the same time, if you look at the maritime, if you look at the demand, look at the applicants, it's really going up and up all the time. So you can see the difference. And similarly, I compared across multiple professions. So since the time is running out, I'm just skipping this. So information technology. So you have this link. You click this and you can play around to look what is the trend if you want to see. This is official trend. Whenever you search, we avoid AI as much as possible. AI, myself, Veeramani, we discussed, it's giving unpredictable results. It says USN is the best university here and there. It's an example, but it picks a way. I don't know how the algorithm is built to get this data, but it's better to go with the official websites where they are connecting everything to SSP or some database. So this is what we are showing here in this. Let's skip this fast. And this is a feedback from parents. It's I think only 8 parents have replied. I don't know. We send the feedback form to see what every student need to take. Of course, we send a lot of information in the announcement or something, but only 8 has managed to reply back. And you can see what they prefer. This is the prediction or preference from this one. Medicine is on the top, and then it comes with engineering, automation, and robotics related, and then it goes with the data science related. It's just a feedback. It's a feelings. It's we no need to do anything about this. But the statistics, what we have on the website is actually true. This is just a feeling of our community. And then also we asked everyone to give feedback. What are the subjects we think it's going to have a big future? They said data and analysis and AI, medicine, subsea engineering, automation, fisheries, engineering, business, and yeah, I see this. And one question we asked is the parents, because often we get confused when, if you're studying in IB, how long we need to continue, when you want to switch over. I think it looks like from this survey, I think many of them want to convert the students from IB to Norwegian from the 7th, 8th grade, from the middle school. It's purely personal choice, or just we collected the opinion just to present. I move to the next one. I think it's difficult to read, but what we are planning to do is for the help chain or for this one, we got really very good feedback. Okay, what are the different areas the students can use to, in case they want to strengthen their academic point on any subject, what kind of places they can go? Few things, but we will organize this in a one way, in one sheet. We will present later on. We'll update this presentation. But right now, I took exactly what we received from the parents, from the feedback. I think especially there are multiple websites with a lot of things we have. So let's wait. And then here more focus on student forums is good. Share the experiences. Yeah, these experiences. What are we trying to do is more than parents talking. Of course, that's good, but we are trying to connect the students to students. We are trying to connect the high school students, middle school students, and university students somehow to share, to talk. But it's happening to some extent. We are forcing the discussion in the students forum. There is also one of the proposal we will discuss by end of the today. We wanted to have some students to go out for a tour, or we need to break banks. They have to talk, they have to help each other somehow. We'll try to see what we can do. But more than us, they need to talk about how if they switch from English to Norwegian, what happens, and other challenges, difficulties, they can discuss, they can understand, they can correlate. They will find a solution. Now there's a lot of opportunity to choose based on the student interest, passion. Yes, not only engineering, medicine. Yeah, this is the point. Maybe I'm misunderstood. I think in many places we always try to push our students towards education, bachelor's, master's, take a course. We are trying to motivate them as much as we can. But in Norway, it's a place. It's truly correct. Whatever profession we take, our salary, you have seen the difference. Even the lowest one, the waiters, to the one which is on the highest is difference is 2 times, just 2 times. It's not a big. In the US, it can be 10 times. So Norway is a more flat country, but still, out of the possibilities, we have to motivate the kids to do better. That's what we are trying to do. The other courses, what we are not talking about is if you take vocational, if you took many other courses, it's always possible. Still, there is a possibility to come back to mainstream. They can also say they can go for a school for 3 years, and then they can study some gap course, and they can come back to university. There's always a possibility. That is also possible we can do. But one thing what we need to remember is, as a kind of society, we are really out from the hands-on kind of things. We are not doing anything electrical at home. We are not fixing anything. Maybe the next generation will change. We are more academic from the background, so that's why we're talking more about this. Maybe next time we'll try to see if we can include some of the aspects. But what are things we are talking now is purely based on the academics, engineering, go to bachelor's, master's. That's what we try to talk about. Yeah, maybe this I just copied. Yeah, we will talk about this. Yeah. And then students, we try to collect the feedback from students. I think most of the students, 6th to 9th, they have replied. And they said no idea That's good. If there is no idea, then as a parents we can influence to some extent. That's in that aspect is good. At the same time, we expect the students need to spend some hours to go through to get their own ideas. I'll rush through. It's a final recommendation from university students. Out of all, we summarize everything into one. Your choice of study is the right one. So, what are university, what are courses we have chosen? We need to trust that's the right one. The student will believe. And changing your field is later is possible now. Even if you study for a year or 2 years, you can come back. You can see that you don't need to study entire thing from the beginning. You can reuse the courses what have been studied. So it's possible to switch the courses. And US life will be one of the best places in your life journey. Like I said, even if you look compare in our profession, the students or the friends who we had in the school in the university days, they are the best. So they need to have good network, good friends. You need to enjoy the university. There's not be any pressure on this one. They have to connect. They have to make a good network. That's what will help in the future. And summer internship is highly valuable for your career. So this we strongly recommend. This is for the university students. So whenever the university, say practically they study electronics, whatever branch they are, or whatever law it is, maybe from the fourth semester, fifth semester, from the second year to third year, when you go, that is the time most of the companies will open for summer internship. And we as a parents also have the responsibility to help the students to get a place in the big companies, the better companies. We'll have a separate session on this one. We strongly recommend all the students definitely need to go. The reason being, when the CVs are looked through, for the campus interview selection. Normally, this speaks a lot. If they have been to any internship for 3 months, they have done something, they understand some of the process, that really helps. So we recommend the students to do. And then getting involved in the student programs, as we already talked about, that gives some real-time experience. And master education is respected in Norway in terms of salary, in terms of roles and everything. So we recommend to continue that. And regardless of the field, whatever field, it can be medicine, it can be anything. You try to have some touch on EA and the modern tools to keep us in pace with the global. So that's the recommendation. I think I need to stop here. Now it's time for Veeramani Ramesh to talk about universities outside Norway. So since we are not open any, since we are running out of time, we are rushing. But if you have any questions, you keep on the chat, or we can discuss later on. So sorry for that. We started a bit late, so we need to rush. Veeramani. Actually, this is about studying outside Norway. That's what we wanted to focus on. Money is put in enormous slides, enormous stats, but we are not going to present those stats and all. And normally people, or where we started is like there are many medical aspirants who wants to do medical, and the cutoff in Norway is quite high. And if you want to do it outside Norway, and then which is also approved for Norway when you come back, those are the things we wanted to focus first. And also like some of the courses, mainly IB students, if they want to pursue outside Norway, there are a lot of opportunities they can explore, including engineering and also like fashion design, and also like some kind of professional courses or their interests. There are many people who are going outside Norway to do these studies. So for everyone, the main entrance or the gateway for you to explore your studies outside Norway is Hansa. Hansa is like a student union, actually. Each city, for example, Oslo, they have a student in Oslo, SIO. If you are studying in Trondheim, they have a SIT, student in Trondheim. So like that, this is a student organization for every student who are going and studying outside Norway. They better register themselves in this association of Norwegian students abroad. And they are also providing a lot of information where and all
what all the courses are there, what all the countries and everything. And if you want to click on that's better. So main thing is like this is directly for the medicine link, okay? Where and all, what are the countries we have opportunities, and also like what we have put in is like there are some countries where in EU's you can directly come in, but there are some countries you might have to take some exams when you come in. So those are the things you can explore, and you can start with what the study you want to do, and also the lands where the country you want to go. There are very many information you can explore in this site, and then you can decide on. And regarding medical medicine studies, there are some agents like EduPlanet and Sona where you can explore. They are also providing services of medicine admissions to other countries. And some of the popular countries where our students are going and studying are like Hungary, Czech Republic, and Cyprus. And these are the countries where we know that our students are already going and studying, and they are come back, and they are also started practicing. And other than this, there are many countries like Poland, Latvia, and Slovakia are popular countries for Norwegian students. As we were trying to say that please do not use AI or Copilot for your studies. Like when we were just looking at, if you search for medicine outside Norway, the first country which populates is Romania, which is not authorized by ANSA. Okay, so always this is an official website. Maybe make use of this, and this is not only for medicine but for also all the other studies. So as we have said that these are the countries which are categorized as all the practical training in the sense house surgeon, right? In our country back home, house surgeon, that is called practical training, which is already approved. So the students who are doing medicine in Poland, Hungary, and Czech Republic and Slovakia, they can directly come in. They can start working here. And there are some countries where we need to do some more additional things when we come back into Norway. These are those countries which we have um, listed here. So when you are going to these countries for study, so you need to understand that you need some extra authorization when you're coming back actually. And whenever you're going out, there are possibilities for applying for loan through Loan Casa. This is the link actually for applying the Loan Casa. And most of the times, like when you have completed your studies on that stipulated duration of time, then there is a possibility that Norwegian government they give subsidy of around 40% from their loan. Okay, so that you will have to pay out only the 60%. Suppose if you are not able to complete those studies within that stipulated time, maybe that percentage of 40% will reduce. So you need to be very careful. These are like these are the things we just want to share tricks and tips, rather than what is the study, which university and things like that. And regarding how to apply for Lona Casa, I think there will be someone, so she will come and explain more. And other technical studies, like whatever we have seen is like we know students who are commonly going into Netherlands for engineering studies. And also there are some students from IB, they are doing some who are doing some courses in UK as well. But please understand, UK has got its own entrance exam, but also the fees is also quite high. If you are able to bear it, then there are possibilities. But whenever you are going out, there is also a catch that maybe that if you're continuing in a Norwegian system, you may have some restrictions. So if you are planning to go out, then IB is the route. But if you continue in Norwegian, there are a lot of opportunities in Norway itself. So, and you know that tuition fees is also zero. Only the living cost, for even for the living cost, the Norwegian government is giving a Lona Casa. So students are on their own, even if they are outside the support of parents. They will take care of their living expenses, and they will repay their loan when they get some job or something. So already there is no burden for parents as such. That is also one of the things we need to understand. But when you are going out, including the student fees, the tuition fees plus the living expenses will be on the loan. And most of the times, the Lona Casa is also like you will be able to live with that Lona Casa, but if you're going outside, there are some cases that you may have to support your child for some more than the Lona Casa also for some of the countries because of some exchange rate problems, like we are always going down, and then euro is strong. So that cases there may be problems. So when you are deciding to go off, please look into all these considerations. And Ramesh, you would like to add in?
In question, we can.
Yeah.
The support which is like the marginal difference, or it is quite high.
Come again?
When you say like we as parents, we have to also support, right, in the second grades and right.
Yeah.
Is it like the marginal thing, or is it like the?
No, I can answer for that one. It will be about 20 to 30% will be high you have to pay. Because the Lona Casa, what it gives, it's about 370,000 kroner per year. But the accommodation as well as the food things that will come about another 100 to 200,000. So you need to have at least 100 to 200,000 extra to have to pay. It depends on the country where you stay.
Per year.
Per year.
Per year we are talking about. So 100,000 by 12 is the monthly expenses you need to support. But why this is happening is like historically, this Lona Casa was more than sufficient for the students who have been going out and living there, and then they were even buying cars and living luxurious life when we were strong. But that Lona Casa slab for each country have not been revised for many years. So this current phase, like it is quite difficult for us to rely totally depending on this Lona Casa when you are studying outside. So please be aware of that.
So the fee for the tuition fee has been heavy as well, where the Lona Casa amount what they are giving is not sufficient to meet the education fee. Then on top of it, whatever you are saying, you can stay and other.
Yeah, for example, as she said, the Lona Casa is fixed for the country, for example. If there are two universities in the same country, you will get the same Lona Casa, but the tuition fees will vary between those two universities. One will be higher. If the tuition fees is higher for a higher ranking university, obviously we will choose the higher ranking one. The higher ranking one will have more tuition fees. Then you will have to compensate for those differences. So basically, the Lona Casa is based on the country and the average tuition fees of that country. So when you're entering into a country where you have higher tuition fees, obviously, because the colleges are good, the tuition fees will be higher. And also maybe it depends on the city you are going in as well. In some of the countries, like universities are outside the city, then you have lesser expenses. But some countries, the universities are in the city, then the living expenses are quite high. Yeah.
The language of instruction will be.
Most of the times, the language of instruction.
Language. What is the language of?
Language of instruction.
Maybe I can answer that one. If you are studying medicine, most of the students from Norway, they go to outside to study in English. The study is mostly in English, but they want the local language to study also. So they want to practice medicine for the final year. They would appreciate to have the local language, like your example in Poland and Czech and everything. They will have a A2 level, they will need it. So they will train on medicine is 6 years study. The first 3 years, they will make the language as the mandatory. Mandatory means they will have some subjects to pass. So but they will keep it till 3 years. So that is one constraint. But if you go to Ireland, where the English speaking are there, Ireland and UK, that will be in English. But when you come back, you cannot work directly here in Norway. So you have to do one more year as the intern things, you have to do one more year. So there is both plus and minus are there. But all the university we are outside of Norway, it will be in English. But if you want to select, if your children are good in Spanish or some other language, German, you can choose for the other language also. German, if you good in German, then there is quite a good university in Germany, which is free also. You don't need to pay. The average, one thing we missed to say is that for medicine, if you are IB, it's very difficult to select biology and chemistry. So for medicine, most of the European countries, they require physics, chemistry, and biology, all the three, because they need entrance exam. Most of the countries, they need entrance exam. So the entrance exam will cover physics, chemistry, biology. So if your kids are not taking biology or chemistry, it's difficult. And the subjects, when they go in the first year also, they will have some subjects. But what we understand after we had is that you can take separate subjects like chemistry or biology outside of your normal regular team. The private, you can take it. So our recommendation is look for the university wherever you're applying. If they need all three or they choose physics, chemistry or physics, biology. So nowadays the trend is that mostly if you have physics and chemistry, the university options are less. If you have physics or chemistry and biology, the options are more.
And also these are only specific examples. Wherein, for example, in Hungary, Semmelweis, this is one of the highest ranking medical universities. You will need biology, and there is an entrance exam as well. So also most of the times, whatever you are getting in your VG is also somewhat immaterial, or there is some only minimum criteria. So whatever you're scoring in the entrance exam is more important, carries more weightage than your marks in the VG for this university. And some universities, they don't need biology. Okay. And some universities, they need biology entrance exam plus an interview as well.
But this is a problem only for the IB students, right? IB, they don't have all the three science subject, but in VG, you have all the three science. So the Norwegian curriculum, the students studying in Norwegian curriculum can apply anywhere because they have all the three.
No, it is also a choice. They
All the three, but in IB, especially in Nadu and other schools, they cannot choose all the three. They can choose only two science subjects, either physics, chemistry, or physics, math, and the biology and chemistry, like the combination. They cannot choose all the three. But in Norwegian curriculum, they have an option.
But even in Norwegian, biology is a choice only. It is not a mandatory, but if you're planning to do medicine outside, it is always better to have biology as well. So your choices of universities will be wide open.
The one point is this entrance exam. Those who kids wants to go outside of Norway, the entrance exam is very almost 2 to 3 hours of the entrance exam they have. So they have to be prepared. Our children has to be prepared so they can have previous question papers and everything. But these two, EduPlanet and Sonar, they have some sort of a small training for them. They will guide you what is the entrance exam looks like. They can practice the entrance exam and thing. So it's good that if you go into the website EduPlanet or you contact them, they will give you some sort of a session for the students. Yeah. So this entrance exam is really very hard. Three papers will have physics, chemistry, biology, and then they have an oral and then the interview. They have a logic thinking also. So the streamline with the marks, what they get in Vidragona or IB, plus this, they combine together to select their students.
And regarding the language, why they need languages, like always, most of the times, this medicine universities, wherever Norwegian students are going, it is taught in English. But other than only for medicine, I'm talking about, not about engineering or other subjects, where these people have to interact with the patients. So after 3 years, they will be put into hospitals. So just to interact with the patients, these languages must. That's why they learn language as a language to interact with the patients, basically. That is the reason they are taking this language. Suppose if you're studying in Poland, you need to, they will study Polish, and then other, for example, Czech also their own languages. So wherever you're going in these Eastern European countries, so this language is for interacting with the patients. They don't need to be like a well-versed professor, but it is only for, and the whole curriculum of that language is also structured in that way. How do you talk to your patient, and you need to understand, you need to diagnose from talking to them, right? For that only the language is needed.
One thing is in medicine, they can choose the final year or 5th year. They can choose anywhere in the world. They can go for 1 year or it's 12 weeks exchange. Mostly people go to UK, US, or if you want, you can come back to Norway, University of Oslo or Bergen or Tromsø. They can be study here also. So it's a combination.
One question about the entrance exam. The syllabus for entrance exam, what they same as what we studied in Norway?
They have the same.
So no need of an extra effort.
But as he said, like there is some sample stress and other stuff like in those things you can see, but it won't be as tough as we think. But that's a long exam. Yeah.
The same as IB, I can, because my son studied IB.
Yeah.
So what he said was from IB 1 and 2, the subjects, the questions are same as similar to IB 1 and 2. So they have to revise IB 1 and IB 2 subjects, chemistry, physics, and same for local Vidragona also.
For example, Hari studied biology outside, right?
No, chemistry.
Chemistry, and my son studied physics outside for the entrance exam. They took a physics as an extra subject outside and they have to take an exam in any of the schools here, local schools here. There is a site for that. You need to apply for the education and then you need to take an extra paper and then study that apart from your regular curriculum. And then your exam is not for that. You get a grade and then the grade is added to your original grade to apply for this.
Thank you.
ஓகே, நம்ம எஜுகேஷன் லோன்ஸ் பத்தி பார்க்க போறோம். அது மோரோவர் நான் அவ்வளோ சீரியஸ் டைப் கிடையாது. ஸோ கொஞ்சம் ரிலாக்ஸ்டான என்விரான்மெண்ட்ல தான் நான் பேசுவேன். நான் லோனுக்காசனோட பிராண்ட் அம்பாசிடர் கிடையாது. அதனால லோனுக்காசன் வந்து ப்ரோஸ் அண்ட் கான்ஸ் தான் நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம். இட்ஸ் அப் டு யூ டு டிசைட் வெதர் யூ ரியலி வாண்ட் டு ஹேவ் லோனுக்காசன் ஆர் நாட். ஒரு சின்ன இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் ஃபேக்ட், எப்போ நம்ம வந்து ஊர்ல எல்லாம் பண்றதுனால ஒரு பேக்ரவுண்ட் இன்ஃபோ. நம்ம வந்து எப்போ இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் வாங்கினோமோ அந்த டைம்ல தான் இங்க லோனக்காசன் ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. லோனக்காசன் வந்து ரொம்ப யூனிக் கம்பேர்ட் டு எனி அதர் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஸ்டைஃபன். ஏன்னா இங்க வந்து ஸ்டைஃபண்டும் கொடுக்குறாங்க, லோனும் கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஸோ ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் பிளஸ் இது அண்ட் மிச்சதெல்லாம் தேவையில்லாததான் பத்தியா. ஸோ நம்ம எப்படி ஆஸ்பெக்ட்ல இப்ப நான் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னா, நார்வேஜியன் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், இன்னொன்று வந்து EU/EEA ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், இன்னொன்று வந்து நான் EU அதாவது இன்டர்நேஷனல் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ். இப்போ 3 விதத்துல எப்படி அப்ளை பண்ணலாம், எந்த மாதிரி யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். டிஸ்க்ளைமர், நான் இது வரைக்கும் லோனக்காசன் அப்ளை பண்ணதில்லை, என் பிள்ளைங்களும் இன்னும் அப்ளை பண்ணல. ஸோ ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருந்தது அப்படின்னா நம்ம தலைவர்கள்லாம் இங்க இருக்கிறாங்க, துர்கா, ரமேஷ், வீரமணி, இவங்க எல்லாம் ஆன்சர் பண்ணுவாங்க. இன்னும் நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ நார்வேஜியன் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து நார்வேஜியன் சிட்டிசன்ஷிப் இருக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு பேசிக்கா இந்த வருஷத்துக்கு இது போட்டிருந்தாங்க. இந்த இது வந்து எப்படின்னா பேஸ்ட் ஆன் ung.no இருந்த ஸ்டாட்டிஸ்டிக்ஸ் தான் எடுத்து போட்டிருக்கேன். 2 விதமா அப்ளை பண்ணலாம் ஒரு லோனக்காசனுக்கு. ஒன்னு வந்து பேசிக் லோன், இன்னொன்னு வந்து ஸ்கூலபெங்கர் லோன். அது டியூஷன் ஃபீஸ்ன்னு போட்டிருக்கேன். பட் ஆனா நீங்க தங்குறதுக்கு சாப்பிட்றதுக்கு அந்த இதுக்குரிய காசு பிளஸ் பேசிக் லோன். அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒவ்வொரு செமஸ்டரும் நீங்க அப்ளை பண்ணணும். ஆனா நீங்க சூஸ் பண்ணலாம், ஒரு செமஸ்டருக்கு அப்ளை பண்றீங்களா இல்ல ஒரு இயருக்கு அப்ளை பண்றீங்களா அப்படின்ட்டு. அண்ட் வீரமணி சொன்ன மாதிரி we can apply for 40% grant. ஆனா அதுல ஒரு செக் மார்க் இருக்கு, we'll come back to it later. And of course you can apply for inside Norway and outside Norway courses-க்கு. இந்த இது வந்து எல்லா இதுலயுமே இருக்கு. இந்தியால இருந்து எஜுகேஷன் லோன் அப்ளை பண்ணவங்களுக்கும் இருக்கும். நீங்க எஜுகேஷன் டைம்ல நீங்க யூ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் டு பே எனிதிங், பட் ஆஃப்டர் யூ ஃபினிஷ் யுவர் எஜுகேஷன் 12 monthsல இருந்து யூ ஸ்டார்ட் பேயிங் பேக்.
இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்
ரேட்டா அது வர இப்போ வந்து கண்டிஷன்ஸ் தான் நம்ம பாக்குறோம். இப்போ வந்து நார்வேஜியன் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு இதெல்லாம் கண்டிஷன்ஸ், இதெல்லாம் அப்ளை பண்ணீங்கன்னா கிடைச்சிடும். அடுத்தது வந்து இப்போ EU/EEA ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு கொஞ்சம் வந்து செக் மார்க்ஸ் இருக்கு. என்னென்னா யூ ஹாவ் டு ஒர்க் இன் நார்வே. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து நார்வேல இருக்கிற ஒரு கைண்ட் ஆஃப் டை இருக்கணும் உங்களுக்கு. நீங்க வந்து ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நீங்க ஜெர்மனா இருந்துட்டு லோனக்காசன் இங்க அப்ளை பண்ணி வாங்கணும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா முடியாது. ஆனா உங்களுக்கு கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்ட் இங்க இருக்குன்னா அப்படின்னா நீங்க இங்க வந்துட்டு இங்க இருந்துட்டு யூ கேன் அப்ளை ஆர் யூ கேன் கம் ஃபார் ஒர்க் அண்ட் தென் யூ கேன் அப்ளை. ஸோ ஏதாவது ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட் ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணணும். நான்-EU ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு முக்காவாசி கிடையாது. சப்போஸ் இங்க நீங்க வந்து ஏதாவது ஒரு லாங் டேர்மா இங்க இருக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னா, லைக் PR ஏதாவது வாங்கியிருக்கீங்க அந்த மாதிரி, இப்போ நான் இப்பதான் வந்திருக்கேன் அந்த ஊருக்கு, ஆனா நான் எக்ஸ்ட்ராவா படிக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன், அந்த மாதிரிலாம் நினைச்சீங்கன்னா யூ கேன் கெட் இட். ஆர் யூ கேன் கோ ஃபார் பிரைவேட் லோன்ஸ். லைக் நீங்க வந்து உங்க ஒர்க்ல நீங்க வேலை பாக்குறீங்க. இந்த இடத்துல நான் கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணது ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கான லோன்ஸ் பத்தி பேசுறதுக்கு. அஃப்கோர்ஸ் நீங்க வேலை பார்த்துட்டே இப்போ லோன் எடுத்து கொஞ்ச நாளைக்கு உங்க ஆஃபீஸ்ல கேட்டுட்டு தென் யூ கேன் ஆல்சோ அப்ளை. அப்படி பாத்தீங்கன்னா DNB, ஸ்பார்பாங்க் இவங்க எல்லாமும் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அண்ட் அஃப்கோர்ஸ் டெலினாரும் கொடுக்குது. இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல வந்து திஸ் இஸ் ஜென்ரேட்டட் பை AI. அஃப்கோர்ஸ் AI யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்றோம், ஆனா LLM கரெக்டான LLM யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். ப்ரோஸ் அண்ட் கான்ஸ் பத்தி பேசணும் இந்த இடத்துல. திஸ் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் அ டேட்டா, யூ கேன் கோ த்ரூ இட் லேட்டர். ஆனா இப்ப உங்களுக்கு வந்து எப்படி இருக்குன்னா, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நீங்க இவ்வளவு ரூபா வாங்குறீங்க அப்படின்னா நீங்க ஒரு 40% கிராண்ட் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா இவ்வளவு தூரத்துக்கு நீங்க பே பண்ணுவீங்க. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு ஆக்சுவலா வந்து ஃபினான்ஷியலா ஒர்த்து, அது போக உங்களுக்கு டாக்ஸ் ரிடம்ஷன் கிடைக்கும். ஸோ தட் இஸ் ஆக்சுவலி பாசிட்டிவ் பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் டேக்கிங் அ லோன். ஸோ நமக்கு வந்து இப்போ லோன் வேவர் எப்படிலாம் கிராண்ட் வந்து கிடைக்கிறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கலாம் அப்படின்னா 40% வந்து நீங்க வந்து ஃபுல்லா எல்லாம் முடிச்சிட்டீங்க, உங்களோட எஜுகேஷன் கம்ப்ளீட்டா முடிச்சிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கிறதுக்கு, பிளஸ் ரிமோட் ஏரியால இருந்து நீங்க வந்து படிக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கு கிராண்ட் இருக்கு. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து சப்போஸ் டிசபிலிட்டி ஏதாவது இருந்ததுன்னா அண்ட் டெத்னா கண்டிப்பா கொடுக்க முடியாது, அதனால கிராண்ட் பை டிஃபால்ட் கிடைச்சிடும். அண்ட் ப்ராசஸ் வந்து இட்ஸ் வெரி சிம்பிள். யூ ஜஸ்ட் கோ இன் டு த lonakasan.no அண்ட் தென் அதை அப்ளை பண்ணீங்கன்னா அண்ட் ஒரு 4 to 8 weeksல if you give a proper documentation you'll get the result. And the criterias for meeting the இது வந்து என்னன்னா, you should pass the education, of course. You should live away from your parents. For example, நீங்க abroad போறீங்கன்னா இது வந்து ரொம்பவே யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். இல்லைனாலும் இங்க இருக்கிறீங்கன்னா இப்போ NTNU அந்த மாதிரி வெளியே இருந்து படிச்சீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு கிராண்ட் கிடைக்கும். இன்னொன்று வந்து you should not earn too much. அது அந்த மூணுமே வந்து um.no இருந்தது. ஸோ எஸ். ஸோ இது வந்து சம்மரைஸ் தான் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் அந்த இடத்துல. எஸ்.
அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டை தான் மீன் பண்றாங்க. சோ டாக்ஸ் ரிலேட்டிவ் உங்களுக்கு பேரண்ட்ஸ் கிடைக்கும்.
ஆமா கரெக்ட். இது எல்லாம் வந்து யார் அப்ளை பண்றாங்களோ அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட். சோ பேரண்டா இருக்கட்டும், இப்ப பேரண்ட் வந்து எஜுகேஷன் போய் அப்ளை பண்ணி ஏதாவது படிக்க போறீங்க அப்படின்னா தென் யூ கெட் இட். இல்ல வந்து ஸ்டூடெண்ட் பண்றாங்கன்னா அவங்க கிடைக்கும். சோ சப்ஜெக்ட் அந்த எந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் அப்ளை பண்ணதோ அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட்டுக்கு கிடைக்கும். எஸ். சோ எஸ், நான் அவ்வளவுதான் முடிச்சிட்டேன் நான். தேங்க்யூ.
நான் பே பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் சொல்றேன். இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வந்து 4.6ங்க. இப்போ ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து 4.6 இது இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ரேட். முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் அவங்களுக்கு வந்து 4.6% பே பண்ணும். இட் கோஸ் ஃபார் 20-25 இயர்ஸ் லோன் கொடுப்போம்.
படிச்சு முடிச்சுட்டு வேலை கிடைக்கலன்னா அந்த சினாரியோ
அப்ளை பண்ணணும். நீங்க டிஃபர் வந்து 3 இயர்ஸ் வரைக்கும் டிஃபர் பண்ணலாம். ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து டிஃபர் பண்ணணும். படிச்சு முடிச்ச உடனே வந்து அவங்க அனுப்பிடுவாங்க. லெட்டர் அனுப்பிடுவாங்க. 12 months தான். 12 monthsக்கு டிஃபர் பண்ணலாம். நீங்க
அதுக்கப்புறமாவும் வேணும்னா you need to like really apply and then explain your situations. ஆக்சுவலா வந்து ஒரு ரீசெண்டா ஒரு கேஸ் கூட நம்ம பேஸ் பண்ணுவோம். ஆக்சுவலா எல்லாமே ஸ்ட்ரெயிட் ஃபார்வர்ட்லாம் கிடையாது. you need to like call,
நீங்க கால் பண்ணுங்க,
discuss with them. Suppose உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது difficulties இருந்தாலும் you need to like really fight back and then say like this is my condition. நம்ம சொல்ல எல்லாமே வந்து white and black எல்லாம் கிடையாது. So you need to like really talk to them very
ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். இப்போ பேச்சுலர் முடிச்சுட்டாங்கன்னா, பேச்சுலர் முடிச்ச உடனே அந்த இது வந்து இமீடியட்டா லெட்டர் வந்துடும். யூ ஹேவ் டு பே தி மந்த்லி அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு பேச்சுலர் காமிச்சிருவாங்க. ஆனா இப்போ இந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட் வந்து மாஸ்டர்ஸ் படிக்க போயிட்டாருன்னா அவர் திருப்பி சொல்லணும், இந்த மாதிரி வந்து நான் ஸ்டார்டட் மாஸ்டர்ஸ்னா அப்போ டிஃபர் பண்ணுவாங்க. மாஸ்டர்ஸ் முடிக்கிற வரைக்கும் டிஃபர் பண்ணிட்டு மாஸ்டர்ஸ் முடிச்ச உடனே திருப்பி லெட்டர் வரும். திருப்பி அதை டிஃபர் பண்ணுவோம். படிக்கிற வரைக்கும் ஃப்ரீ. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து 4.6%
அப்ளை பண்ணது பேச்சுலர்ஸ் இல்லையா? சோ அந்த ப்ராசஸ் முடிச்ச உடனே அவங்களோட டிக் மார்க்குக்காக they will start sending the processing rituals. So if you have some other plans, we need to go back to the matching.
4.6% நார்மலி வந்து நம்ம ஹவுசிங் லோன் பர்சன்டேஜ் இதோட தான் மேப் பண்ணி தான் இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ இப்போ இருக்கிற பர்சன்டேஜ் தான் சொல்றாரு. அது வந்து ஹவுசிங் லோன் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்குல்ல, அதுவும் அந்த ஸ்டேட்
இன்டெகிரேட்டட் மாஸ்டர்ஸ் 5 years அது போனாலுமே 3 years
மாஸ்டர்ஸ் வந்து 5 years அப்ளை பண்ணிருக்கீங்க இல்லையா? உங்களோட லோனா காசு கிடைக்கிறதே வந்து 5 years தான் வந்து நீங்க அப்ளை பண்ணுவீங்க. பேச்சுலர்ஸ் முடிச்சுட்டு மாஸ்டர்ஸ்னா திரும்ப நீங்க ரீ அப்ளை பண்ணுங்க. தென் தே வில்
இது வந்து இப்போ நீங்க இப்போ வித்ரகோனா படிக்கிற பசங்க இப்போ இன்டர்நேஷனல் ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கிறா கூட நீங்க வந்து லோனா காசு எடுக்கலாம். என் சன்னுக்கு அப்படிதான் எடுக்கும். நீங்க இன்டர்நேஷனல் ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கிறாங்க வித்ரகோனா 1 and 2, 3னா நீங்க அப்ளை பண்ணி வாங்கலாம். அதுல வந்து அவங்க 50% வந்து கிராண்டா கொடுப்பாங்க. 50% நீங்க பே பண்ணணும், 50% அவங்க கிராண்ட் கொடுப்பாங்க. அவங்க கிராண்ட்னா 90,000 வந்து அவங்க பே பண்ணுவாங்க. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஆஸ்ட்ரோ இன்டர்நேஷனல் ஸ்கூல் வந்து பர் இயர் வந்து 260,000 ஃபீஸ். அதுல வந்து 100,000 வந்து கிராண்ட் கொடுப்பாங்க. 100,000 கொடுத்துருவாங்க. அவங்க மீதி 160 நீங்க பே பண்ணணும்.
இப்ப நீங்க விஜிக்கு அப்ளை பண்ணீங்க. சோ விஜிக்கு அப்ளை பண்ணிட்டு நெக்ஸ்ட் அவங்க கிராஜுவேஷன் போகும்போது திரும்ப அப்ளை பண்றாங்க.
ஆமா, திருப்பி அவங்க
நோ ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன் லைக் நீங்க டிகிரிக்கு மாஸ்டர்ஸ்க்கு அப்ளை பண்ணலாம், இல்ல விஜிக்கு தான் அப்ளை பண்ணலாம்.
ஆனா எவ்ரி இயர் அப்ளை பண்ணுவீங்க. 5 years ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்லாம் கிடைக்காது. எவ்ரி இயர் நீங்க வந்து அப்ளை பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கணும். அவங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் உங்க மார்க் ஷீட் அனுப்புவாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி என்ன படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கீங்கன்னு மார்க் காமிச்ச உடனே நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர்
அது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் பாயிண்ட். நம்ம வந்து அந்த 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 செமஸ்டரோட கிளியர் பண்ணலைன்னா அந்த கிராண்டோ இல்ல லோனகாசோ அந்த அப்ரூவ் ஆயிருக்குதோ நமக்கு வராது.
நீங்க அந்த எவ்ரி இயர்
கிளியர் பண்ணலைன்னா உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துருக்க கிராண்டோ இல்ல அந்த அந்த லோனகாசோ அமௌண்ட்டோ யூ நீட் டு பே பேக். So that's like based on how you progressively
படிச்சு முடிக்கலாம். அந்த 3 years or 5 years படிச்சு முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் கிராண்ட் 40% கிடைக்கும். அது படிக்க முடிக்கலன்னா கிராண்ட் கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஃபுல் ஃபீஸ் பே பண்ணுவாங்க.
பேசிக்கா அவங்க வந்து எதிர்பார்க்கறது ஒரு கமிட்மெண்ட் அண்ட் ட்ரஸ்ட். அது ரெண்டும் நீங்க கொடுத்துட்டே இருக்கணும். அது இல்லைன்னா உங்களுக்கு எதுவும் கிடைக்காது. Subject.
Okay, I would like to give few updates. குயிக் சம்மரி. இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா எல்லா யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸும் அவங்க ஃபீட்பேக் வந்து இங்க கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. பட் சின்ஸ் வி டோன்ட் ஹேவ் டைம் நம்ம அதை கோத்ரூ பண்ண போறது இல்லை. இப்போ வந்து ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் செஷன் நடக்க போகுது. ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ திஸ் வி வில் ஷேர் இட் வித் எவ்ரி ஒன். இல்லை டேட்டா எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸும் அவங்க யூனிவர்சிட்டி பற்றி என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, அந்த யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் வந்து what are the pros and cons and what are the things அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ்லாம் நடக்குன்றது எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ் தேர் இன் திஸ் ஸ்லைட். யூ கேன் see it later on. இப்போ வந்து நம்ம இந்த செஷன் முடிச்சுட்டு நம்ம what we are going to do is all the students will come. நம்ம பேரண்ட்ஸ் வந்து we are not supposed to be here, but we can stand in the back. பட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து அவங்களுக்குள்ள இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணி என்ன பண்ண போறாங்கன்றது they will spend for 30 minutes. I think thanks a lot for your time. I think we'll see you again.
இப்போ ரெக்கார்டிங் கூட ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிடுங்க மனே.